enjoying a bird's-eye view of native forest from 35 metres up. Tourists walk the Percyburn Viaduct, one of 3 historic viaducts left over from timber milling a century ago, along what is now the Hump Ridge track. The track's recently been allocated $5 million to bring it to a Great Walk standard. The Minister of Conservation says she explored the coastal part of the walk 20 years ago, just before the looped track was opened.
I walked along the South Coast track in 1999. It was a fantastic experience, particularly walking over the viaducts, looking down into the forest, which isn't an experience you can have in many other places, and just knowing the history of this place. There was a lot of sawmilling here. It was once New Zealand's largest sawmill at Port Craig. The mill failed in the early 30s in the Depression, but because of that we've got a lot of the old growth forest still left. There was a big campaign to protect the forests, and the Hump Ridge Track Trust grew out of that.
Exploring forests, low mountains and coasts south of Fiordland, the 61-kilometre loop walk is normally done over 3 days, with hikers staying 2 nights in lodges along the track. The funding boost is likely to be spent on upgrading the hut at Percyburn Viaduct to a lodge, as well as upgrading track drainage to make the track worthy of being called a Great Walk.
Well, it's a series of viaducts, 4 viaducts. Now they allow people to access the magnificent forests of Waitutu. So it's the combination of the historic heritage, the huge engineering expertise that built the viaducts and has now restored them, and our natural heritage.
Sage says the track allows the public to enjoy the area's outstanding natural beauty, and thanks to Doc's 1080 airdrops, birdlife such as kaka are flourishing.
Waitutu is extraordinary. The forest, the marine terraces, the coast, the river systems, being able to hear and see kaka because of sustained pest control by the Department of Conservation. It's a wonderful place, and the last light, it's the place of the longest day. Watching those sunsets at night in summer is extraordinary.
Local Mayor Gary Tong says the nearby town of Tuatapere already has visitor infrastructure for accommodation, and so can probably deal with the expected increase in tourism. In Southland, the South Today.